Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about how to become a master coder. Even if you are a person who doesn't know how to put a semicolon in a programming language, I'll tell you a step-by-step path that you can follow to become a master coder. Before we go to our 5-stage roadmap that we have created for you, we'll first talk about who can be a master coder. Like, is there some criteria, some prerequisite, something knowledge? So we'll talk about that, and why to become a master coder, like what are the advantages, and I will also talk about what is coding, how it is different from competitive programming, and what are the different platforms that you have to refer for different purposes. Okay, so first stage is to knowing the language. You have to pick a language from C++, Java and Python, understanding the basics, and then mastering it. It's like learning the functions, call, loops, etc. Next stage is to learn the basics of DSA, like beginner level DSA, and solving at least 100 problems in that language. Then we go in advanced data structure and beginning CP. I am going to give you a list of questions that you have to follow in each part of it so that you can don't miss any topic. After that, you have to start participating in coding contests, and in the last stage you have to just keep on improving your ranking, ratings, your ability to solve diverse set of problems in different circumstances. So we are going to talk about, so make sure you watch the video till the end. So let's talk about who can become a master coder and why you should become a master coder. If you think about any skill, like who masters it is a person who enjoys doing it. He or she doesn't do it just to get a job or earn some money. He literally enjoys doing that task. So the one who enjoys problem solving using coding or a programming language, irrespective of any expectation of reward. So this is the kind of mindset you need in order to become a master coder. It is written in Gita as well. Karmanyavadi karaste ma kadeshu kadachan. Like, you must focus on your work and don't just think about the fruits, like you will get a job, you will get a job, you will get money. That's why you do coding. Just do coding because you enjoy problem solving. So a lot of things people think you need to be good in maths, you need to have a high IQ as a bar in order that you can become a coder. See, there is some necessity of good maths and good IQ, but it's not like you cannot improve. Once you start coding, you can definitely improve your maths, improves your IQ. So a lot of students start from zero and become master coder. So it's a necessity, but it's not a bar that will stop you from becoming a coder. You can always improve it. Then why you should become master coder? Apart from becoming better in problem solving skills, you will also become a better software engineer. You will get a lot of rewards, recognition in the form of money, or certificates, or whatever motivates you as a human being. Okay, companies evaluate coding skills for fresher, even for experience up to 3 to 5 years. If you are switching a company after a 3-year experience, you will still be asked to solve some coding problems, so it helps you in getting hired. Okay, so what is coding? Solving real world problems using programming language is coding. So very simple language. If you are solving real world problems using coding programming, it is called coding. It includes learning data structures and algorithms along with some concepts of math. You apply above learned concept using any programming language. There are 3 languages which is most commonly used: C++, Java and Python. Platforms you can refer is Geeks for Geeks, HackerRank, HackerEarth, and LeetCode for simple coding. Now comes what is competitive coding. When you do a competition of coding, like lots of students, hundreds and thousands of students are solving a set of problem within specified time under a constraint, and their result will be compared to one another. Some ranks will be given, ratings will be given. It is called competition of coding, which is competitive programming. Okay, so de facto CP platforms in India are CodeChef and Codeforces. Lot of times students are saying like, I'm doing coding, so I ask, where are you doing coding? Say HackerRank. So HackerRank is not competitive programming, like they are saying they are doing CP and referring to HackerRank as a platform, but it is not. CodeChef and Codeforces are the platform which are referred as CP platforms. Okay, so let's look at the different stages of learning. Stage 0, we are going to select a language and I'll tell you how to master it. Then we are going to study beginner level DSA. Okay, what topics you have to cover, some questions you can follow, some list I will definitely share with you. Okay, in stage 2, we are going to begin our competitive programming and advanced concepts of data structures and algorithm. In stage 3, we are going to tell you how to participate in coding contests, which are the basic contests you can begin with. Then slowly you have to improve the difficulty level of those contests. Okay, so stage 4 is the master coder and beyond. You have done almost all the topics, you know, all the skills you have, so now you just have to improve upon them. Beyond, you can just keep practicing and learning more algorithm. Now the basic question is which language you should do programming in. So you only have three options: C++, Java and Python. So let's talk about why you should choose C++. It is useful in the return of company. Lots of companies, when they come for recruitment, in their return they give you questions MCQ based on C and C++. So it will help you there. You can't make any projects. You can make projects, but most projects are very old. There is no new updates or new libraries that is coming in C++ projects, so it's not that preferred for making projects. If you want to do competitive programming, if you want to become master coder, you have to do competitive programming, then C++ is the most preferred language. You must have heard at other places as well. There are lots of reasons. First, it's very fast and very efficient for time and space as well. There is standard template library. Second reason is STL is available, where you can use lots of inbuilt functions to do your job very faster. So if your preference is to go for CP, then C++ is the language. We also recommend students to do coding in C++. Okay, next option is Java. It is helpful in job interviews. Lots of companies ask you in interviews. Written, they give MCQ on C or C++, but interviews they prefer Java as well. So you can also make web and Android projects on it. So you can make projects in this language if you learn Java. Plenty of support. You will get a lot of resources online. Recommended if interest in coding only for job purpose. Like if you are learning, if you want to become a coder just because to get a job and not do CP per se, then you can definitely do CP in Java. Okay, so that's how you look at it. The learning curve in Java is a bit difficult. You have to spend more time to learn Java than C++. So that's also a point. For Python, if you wish to make career in data science, like you want to become an AI ML engineer, you can definitely choose Python. You can make lots of projects in its, game, web, everything, all kind of projects can be made. Decent language, but not that preferred for coding or DSA in general, because it hides a lot of complexity. It gives you a lot of inbuilt function which doesn't let you learn DSA in a proper way. That's why Python is the least preferred for CP or coding. Most preferred is C++, then Java, then Python. For college you need C. So if you learn C++, it covers almost all of that. C and C++ are almost similar. There are few additional things in C++ than C. Okay, so you can also learn two languages, like you can learn C++ for coding and you can learn Java, JavaScript, Python or any other language for development. Lots of students do that, so it's not a big issue. So once you select the language, next is to mastering that language. Okay, so what you have to do in that, you have to just learn the basic syntax, how to create loops, data type, functions, recursion. You can definitely learn from various sources. Let me show you some resources that you can learn C++ from. So what you have to do, go to YouTube, and if you want to study from YouTube, C++ tutorials for beginners, and you will see lots of playlists. One playlist I would recommend is Code with Harry. So it's somewhere down this. Oh, sorry. So you have to just open this playlist, start viewing every video from top, first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6. Do some assignment mentioned in it. So that will be more than sufficient for you to learn that language. If you want to do Java, you can do the same path, Java tutorial for beginners. And you will see the playlist of Code with Harry or Telesco also good, so you can follow Telesco. Check all the videos from first to last. Okay, so you will need at least maximum 15 days. You can also do it faster, but if you take 15 days, that's good enough. First learn the theory, then practice few problems like how to find a prime number, palindrome, string manipulation, printing patterns, etc. All these basic platforms. If you need a platform, you can go for HackerRank. Let me show you how to study on HackerRank. HackerRank is the beginner level coding platform that you do practice while you are learning. When you come here, you go down, you will see skills available for practice. Okay, so you will see C++, Java and Python. Let's see for C++. There's lots of basic level problems are there. So you can just start from attempting from first problem to the last. So problems here are topic wise. First study the theory of that topic and then start practicing the challenge. These are simple questions you will be able to easily do. Okay, You can follow books for different languages, channels for different languages. I've told you few channels as well. You may join some course if you want to learn. So you have to solve at least 50 problems for your language on HackerRank before moving on to the next stage. You can also solve 30 or 40 problems. That's not an issue, but at least solve a good proportion, a good variation of problems so that you get comfortable in that language. In this segment, we have chosen the language to follow. Please think carefully about it, which language you want to pursue. I have given you some guidelines that you can take into consider while making the decision, because this language is going to stick to you till the last. Okay, so master it, learn from whichever source you want to learn, free or paid, it's choice up to you. Then solve at least 50 problems on HackerRank. Why I'm saying at least 50 problems? Because this will get you into the mood of solving problems. You can also get ready by 30 problems or 35 problems, but if you solve 50 problems, it will put you on a very good setting to go on to the next stage. But don't go to the next stage before doing at least 30 to 40 problems and learning the basics of that language. In this stage, we are going to cover the beginner DSA. I have divided whole of data structure algorithms in two parts: beginner DSA and advanced DSA. So let's talk what is a data structure. In computer engineering, we play with lots of data. So in order to work with that data, we need some structure so that we can access it efficiently and perform our operations. So we use data structure. It is a collection of data values, the relation among them, and the operation that can be applied to the data. An algorithm is nothing but a set of coding instruction to achieve some operation on data. Like say I want to run a software for logic for lift, like when the lift goes up, if someone press it to come up, and then it goes down when someone press it to go down. So lots of conditions are there, so we call it an algorithm. So you have to begin by learning asymptotic analysis, time and space complexity. How you can learn? Let me tell you one channel that's very helpful and preferred by most students to begin their coding journey. So you can refer to My Code School. You can go and study each of these concepts there in details. Okay, so all those videos are provided here. Okay, you can just search and study it. So you need to study the asymptotic analysis of algorithm, time and space complexity, then algorithms for search. Mostly binary search is very important. Sorting also study, selection, insert, merged, quit. Okay, next you have to study data structure, that is string, array, stack, queue, linked list. So you have to first go My Code School, watch the theory. If you don't like the video here, you can study from any other channel as well. Okay, understand the concepts and then start working on the problems. If you want some theory book, you can refer for Geeks for Geeks. You will find all the theory in the written form on Git for Geeks, and My Code School is for video. Now if you want to practice problems for each topic, then you have to go to LeetCode. LeetCode is another coding platform which is mostly used for DSA learning, for company interview preparation, etc. So I'll tell you how to approach. So you have to log into it. It's a simple login. You can just log in by email. Go to the problem section. Then you go and select the topic here. Okay, so go to the tags here. So you will see the topic, like you have to study array. So select array and you will see all the questions which are related to array. Then start doing them from easy, medium, hard. Do at least 10 to 15 questions on each data structure. Okay, so that's the best place to study or do problems. Okay, you will see lots of problem on this topic. Okay, then go to select next topic. After array you have to do on string. Start doing problems on string. Okay, so 10 to 15 problems do on each topics. Okay, do at least 100 problems before moving on to next stage. If you want to see some problems, then you can refer to Tathastu DSA series. We have created a list of 300 problems covering almost all topic of DSA that you can cover in 60 days. Okay, so all the details you can see here. You can just come scroll below, check the topic, like day 1 arrays we have given. So you will see some 5 problems on LeetCode that you can solve. Day 2 another 5 problems, then strings, then stacks and queue, and everything you will find here. All these questions you can practice these as well. Go to 2D arrays, see those problems. You can then go to lead code and solve those problems. These are carefully created problems in order to help you learn whole of DSA and not leaving any topic. So you can just do the topics that you are interested in, that is strings, arrays, tag, queue, linked list. Okay, you can definitely study it. Make sure you do at least 100 problems, 10 to 15 problems for each data structure. In this stage, we have covered some beginner level of data structure as well as some algorithms like binary search and sorting that you need to know in order to form a fundamental knowledge of DSA or coding in general. Make sure you do at least 100 problems. You can do even more. I have just told you the bare minimum level that you have to do on lead code, because there are lots of problems that you can solve only with advanced topics. So that's why I have just suggested at max 100 problems are good enough to master this section. More importantly, you should understand the concept. You can watch video of My Code School. These are best. Okay, and you can refer study from GFG, right? So you can follow these platforms and make sure you solve at least 80 to 100 problems before going to the next stage. In this stage, we are going to cover advanced DSA. We have covered beginner DSA in the previous stage. So now you have to learn non-linear data structures like tree, graph, maps, and hashing. So these are the very commonly used data structure, followed by learning heap, trie, suffix tree, segment tree. If you wish to go deeper, these are the choice. These are only theoretical concept with some common application, but these are mandatory: tree, graph, maps, and hashing if you want to become a good coder. So where you can go, same, you can go back to the Tathastu DSA series, look for tree. So we have around 50 questions on tree that you can practice on binary tree as well as binary search tree. Follow these questions and start doing one of them. Then you go to graphs. If you want to go for graphs, so we have around 35-40 questions on graphs as well, from basics to properties and different. All those algorithms are covered here. You can go and practice this question. Okay, so this is the best platform that you can get everything from one place. Then learn some important algorithms like divide and conquer, greedy, dynamic programming, branch and bound, backtracking, randomized. You will see the questions for these here as well. You will see 50 plus question for dynamic programming. Okay, so you can practice these questions from here. Practice problems for hour. Do at least 200 problems here. As you can see, there are total 300 problems here, and almost 100 questions you have done in your beginner DSA, and then in advance do the rest of the 200 problems here. If you want to look for some book, you can refer to Narasimha Karumanchi. It's available in all the languages: C++, Java, Python, and you can follow it. It is the best book for preparing for DSA. Okay, so now there is a choice. You can either do advanced DSA then begin competitive programming, or you can just do simultaneously as well. Okay, so advanced DSA is almost similar to preparing for CP. You may start it alongside. Now for CP, you need to learn some advanced concepts like prime number algorithm, sieve, segmented sieve, prime factorization, all these kinds of topic you have to study. Let me refer to a sheet by Raj Vikramaditya. That's very helpful sheet. Let me find the link. You can also watch this video and learn how
So you want to be a software engineer at Google?
How to approach the sheet on a better way. So here is the sheet. So in this sheet you will find 170 plus problems that you must attempt if you are preparing for CP. Topic wise, 6-7 topics, problems for each topic has been given. For linear search, for prefix sum, hashing, sliding window. This is apart from DSA that you need to know in order to prepare begin for CP. So you can follow this list. These are slightly difficult questions, mostly on CodeChef, Codeforces, some on Lead Code, Top Coder, Spoj. Okay, so different topics you can follow. Okay, there is no restriction to do these before going to coding contest, which means you can directly participate in coding contest as well. It's not a mandatory condition, but you will be better prepared if you are solve these questions before going to participate in coding contest. So make sure you solve this 170 problems, and you can also go for 200 problems in DSA Advanced as well. Okay, we have covered two sections: advanced part of DSA and beginning comparative programming. I have given you a list of at least 200 plus problem in DSA and 170 plus for CP. Now the choice is after you with you, like you can either go for advanced DSA and then you start CP, but you can also do it simultaneously. As you can also see, the difficulty of this stage is greater than the difficulty of previous stage, and next stage will be even difficult than this stage. So make sure you put all in your efforts. It will take a lot of efforts to clear this round, understanding the concept, solving those problems, and even doing to the extent of CP problems. Okay. So before going to this stage, you have solved at least more than 470 problems in different lists that I have given to you. You have covered almost every topic of theory. Now you are perfectly ready to go into coding contest. So it's not mandatory for you to solve all these problems before going to coding contest. You can join coding contest initially as well, but I have told you everything topic theory that you need to know in order to become a master coder, because all of that is relevant in some way, in some form, at some place or the other. So why do coding contests? Companies give you 1 to 3 or 4 problems you have to solve in 60 to 75 minutes. You have to pass all the test cases, which are public or private or different. So you need to get into understand how to participate in this format and become master in it. That's why then only you can be going for a next level. So you need to master the format. Take part in contest on HackerRank, some challenges on LeetCode. As you can see, there are some beginner level contest on LeetCode that you can follow. There's daily challenge, there is monthly challenge, weekly challenge, so you can participate in that as well, because these are some basic challenges. Okay, bi-weekly, weekly, you can participate in that. Some contests on HackerRank are always there. Challenge here is to pass all test cases. You need to take care of all boundary conditions along with the core logic. Okay, so you have to make sure you are able to pass all the test condition and boundary conditions like size, etc. You have to participate in 4-5 contests on CodeChef. As I told you, CodeChef is the platform for CP. So now you are ready to participate in contest on CodeChef. Go to CodeChef, go to compete section, and you will see a lot of contests running. There are 2-3 major category of contests, like a long challenge which run for whole month. There's lunchtime which is there for few hours, so you can participate in those contests. Check the date which are there, when it will happen and what time it will happen, how many problems will be there. You can also check some old contests and learn how to participate in the future contest. Next is Codeforces. You have to participate in contest on Codeforces as well. Both the platforms are very important to become a master coder or in your CP journey as well. So go to the website, see the contest, and there's a lots of educational round, global series, and you will see a lot of other contests created by different companies as well. Get acquainted to this platform and start participating. You have to participate in at least 4 to 5 contests on CodeChef. Then begin on Codeforces. Do at least 3 to 4 contests on a monthly basis or a 2 months. Okay, I've given you at least 90 days to get acquainted to the contest format, and you can participate in at least 10 to 12 contests before going to the next stage. Getting into the shape of solving problems in a limited hour in a constraint, it's very important in order to become a master coder. So make sure you do all these coding contests very seriously and try to give it your best. You may not be able to solve all the problems in the beginning. You can just go try, solve as many as you can, and then check the editorial, the solution after the contest, and then try those problems again. Okay. Now in stage 4, you have participated in more than 10 contests. Now it's time for you to go to the next level contest like ACM, ICPC, IOI, IEEE, Extreme, and continue participating in regular contests of Codeforces as well. So they are very global contests that happen apart from these, so you can participate on them. You will get a lot of information on social media which contest is happening where. You can join our WhatsApp group as well, and we'll give you regular update on those contest. Apart from this, lots of companies organize different kind of contests. Google organizes 3 contests, Kickstart, Hashcode, and CodeJam. So 3 contests are organized by Google. So there are different types. So Kickstart is organized 8 rounds every year, so you can participate in them. And if you get a good rank, you may get a call for interview as well in Google. Hacker Cup is organized by Facebook. These are the topmost contests. There are many other contests of other companies like TCS, organizes Code Vita. Infosys has a contest of its own. Code Nation organizes yearly contest. Okay, so you can also participate in these contests as well. So your aim should be to get at least expert. So a lot of students ask me what should be the parameter to know that you have done enough CP. So see, there is no parameter, there is no rank in general, because it depends on our ability to solve problems. Like some person is very good in on CodeChef, but he's not able to solve problems in the live interview. So what's the point of that rank or rating? Okay, so it really matters. What matters is your problem solving. But if you still want some ballpark figures, some reference for guidance or some discussion, so you have to be at least expert on code forces. You must achieve at least 5 star in CodeChef. So that's a beginning, that's good enough. Then you must, once you achieve it, then you can focus on maintaining it. So that's how you become a master coder. So sky is the limit. From here you can just keep on solving more problems, more contests, and improve your rankings and ratings. In this case, sky is your limit. You know every theoretical concept of DSA, of CP that you need to know. You have participated in almost all kinds of coding contests. Now here it's only thing left for you to is to make yourself better than yesterday. Keep solving quality problems, keep learning quality algorithms, keep participating in exciting contests, global, international or national, or even at your college level. More and more contests you give, more and more confidence you will build, and apart from that you will also get a lot of ranks and ratings on different platforms. Let's talk about some resources, some platform. I have already told you: HackerRank, LeetCode, GFG. It's there for coding or DSA learning. CodeChef and Codeforces you can follow for competitive programming. YT channel you can follow My Code School for basic DSA learning. Apna College and Code with Harry for learning C++, Java or other languages. You can also learn Java with My Surgery for Hindi. Books you can follow language specific book, like there is Kathy Sierra for Java and Python. There is another book. Okay, so Narasimha Karumanchi author book is available for DSA. You can follow. It's available on C++, Java and Python, all 3 languages. Some list if you want of DSA question. There is a 450 question DSA cracker list by Love Babbar. You can find this PDF link in the description. 30 days SD sheet by Raj Vikramaditya. There is also CP sheet which we have discussed in the video as well, or you can check our DSA series as well. We are covering 300 plus problem, covering all topics of DSA. Coding in itself is not an end, it is a journey, and I hope you will definitely enjoy this journey by taking into consideration some advices that I have given in this video. Okay, if you follow all these paths, if you follow a slightly different path as well, you will definitely become a master coder. You can check many videos on internet which tell you how to become a master coder or a good coder or super coder. So you can definitely follow them. The main purpose, kids, is to learn, and it is irrelevant which source you learn from or whether you pay or you don't pay. So the main priority is learning. If you can learn from free thing, you can learn from free thing. If you are not able to learn from free thing, you can buy a course as well. It is not an issue. Okay, so if you want to have more discussion, more knowledge about coding, you can join a DSA group. We have over around 3,000 plus students join into our community in 20 plus WhatsApp groups. You can also join. If you need some guidance, some help from some mentor, we have designed some courses in order to serve you better. If you wish to learn DSA, so there is a video on right, you can check it out. It's a 60 days course where you will help you solve 300 plus problems covering almost all topic of DSA in C++, Java and Python. In top right you will see another video, bottom right sorry, another video. It is a video about a 30 days live bootcamp on competitive programming, so taught by a top coder himself. So if you want to join this, you can check it, and you can also subscribe to our channel for more videos on the left.